evening. My name is Godwin Sunday. Well, across Nigeria, the conversation on gender has widened. It's no longer just about women in politics, but about access, representation, and how institutions shape opportunities. Yet, progress remains uneven from low female participation in elective offices to persistent gaps in funding, education, and employment. But gender isn't only defined by policy, it also begins at home. Who controls finances? Whose career is prioritized? And who pauses to care for family quietly influences how society later views women in leadership. If inequality is normalized at home, can equality truly thrive in public life? Now, that leaves us at a very parochial spot right now. So, as the push for inclusion grows, the question is, are we seeing real change or just new language around old norms? And what must shift for power, politics, and progress to align? Today, we explore these issues with Princess Edna Azura, National President of the National Council for Women's Societies, NCWS, Nigeria. We'll take a short break right now. When we return, the conversation begins. Please go nowhere. Come back now. Before we went on that break, I told you that we have been joined in the studio by the person of Princess Edna Azura. But first, Madam President, you're welcome to Kurero.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, Madam President, before you walked in, there have been this debate. First, who can we trust with leadership in Nigeria? And one side of the debate says men does it better. The other path says women in leadership positions are even breaking new grounds. But then, in your own opinion, who does it better when it has to do with leadership?
Thank you very much for that great and wonderful question. But I think we need not to ask. Certainly, women do.
I don't expect Madam President to align with me when it has to do with who does it better.
Certainly, women do it better. We have seen, we have tested, we have proven.
That's quite interesting. So, at this point, you're invariably saying that the men should copy and learn from the women.
Exactly.
Now, well, that's on one side of that conversation. Of course, a lot of men watching us right now would disagree on what Madam President have said. But then, how can we as a country address the persistent gender power gap in our national politics and also the subnational politics, where we have about 5.8% of women seats in the Senate and 5.5% in the House of Representative seats? How can we begin to create some form of balance in all of this gender inequality that tend to even characterize the Nigerian political space?
Thank you very much. There are so many factors that has made it this way, and one of it is culture. The culture we inherited long before now gives preference to men. And so even before independence and after independence, we kept on going with it like that. And so we need to bring in reforms or look into our constitution again and see how we can bring in women. And we need to educate the women further so that before this happens, they would have known their stand. And as I've told you earlier, the women that were given opportunity have proven why women should take the lead. And so when they are educated, they will do the best they can do. And so, but the most important thing is we look into culture, and it is being inherited, and our men, Nigerian men, are sticking so tight to it, and it is affecting every aspect of the human life here in Nigeria. And to start with, we will go back to that education. In a family where there are maybe 4 or 5 children, and maybe 2 are female, you will discover that the male children will give him preference to go to school and get educated to university level, while the girls, some may not even test the four corners of the classroom or may end at the secondary school level because their education, possibly they are going to marry. The thought is they may not bring back whatever they earn to the family. And so that one should be erased, because wherever a woman is, she remembers home, and she even will want to take care of her parents, her siblings, much more than the man will do, if that is the reason why, or the mindsets of some of our men. The culture also, you know, maybe because of the war, when there was war, then it's the men that goes to war. And after independence, the feeling is that as the war was, it continues with it's only men that will do the job, the women should be left back at home. So whether a woman is educated or whatever learned traits, she is good at what she's doing, yet she's not considered because she's a woman. And so this has to be checked, and reforms have to come in place. And not just there, as they are there, let there be action and implementation immediately, and that is what will check out these vices where women are not adequately represented. And when we look at the political scenario also, right from when the political parties are being formed, you will discover that women are neglected. They will not be part of it. The men will be having their meetings late in the night, where women are now by now sleeping, because the same men also, the husbands of these very women, will not allow them to go and have those meetings in the night. And so the men will now converse for who becomes the chairman of a party, who becomes the secretary, and all the escorts that will form that political party. It's after that they will remember, now let us give the woman leader, since a man cannot occupy such a position. And when you check, even right now, the political parties we have, you hardly find a woman holding any other post. It's only the woman leader. And that is now where we are relegated into that. And now this grows on like that. When time comes now for selling all the forms for selecting or appointing or electing whom shall stand in a particular political party as the chairman of a local government, as a councillor, or as the House of Representatives in a state, as the National Assembly, whether House of Representatives or Senator, you discover that it's all the men that will come, because there is no voice from any woman, because that very political party has no woman representation. It's all men that form the ESCO. And so the ESCO takes decision who comes in and who will not come in. So women will not be met. That one membership, the woman leader, she hasn't a voice. In fact, she will be intimidated, because the way they will just look at her is enough a reason why she will just keep mute while discussions are going on. So, and in a country like this, like Nigeria, where it's like 50-50, the population, the men, the percentage of the men and that of women. But if it is like that, and we say the government now is for the people and owned by the people, which people is it? The men? No inclusion. Because in some cases, it's not only women that are not included as well. The men, the youth, and the people living with disabilities. So these are areas we need to look at, and we bring in reforms with immediate action, implementation, and I think Nigeria will do better.
All right, interesting, Madam President. But then, the National Council of Women's Society, the NCWS, Nigeria, has been at the forefront of championing the cause of women to dive into the political space. But then, let's even look at the organization itself. Has it done enough in even advocating for women, especially in rural community? Because there have been speculations that there are opportunities for women to dive into the political space, but then a lot of women are unprepared when it has to do with the political terrain. But then the NCWS NCWS, has it done enough in its advocacy, especially in rural communities, to even advocate for women, especially young girls, to even understand what politics is and how to even venture into the political space?
Thank you very much, sir. In this case, I want to take us back to the memory lane when the National Council of Women's Societies, NCWS Nigeria, began. It all started in 1958. Meanwhile, there is an international body called International Council of Women, where all women all around the world registers with her and become part. And so we have an organization in the world where we belong. And in Nigeria, it's only the National Council of Women's Societies that is recognized at the International Council of Women. And that is where we got registered in 1958 with the whole aim, with the whole perspectives, with the whole agenda to come and educate Nigerian women, to empower Nigerian women, to let the Nigerian woman know her well-being, to know her potentials and develop her potential so that she realizes and meets her destiny, to be able to take care of her family and herself, to groom her children so that they grow up to be better children in the society. That are some of the mindset of why NCWS was established. Now it was in 1958. Remember, we got our independence in 1960. So even the men themselves, NCWS groomed them to be who they are today, because coming with that understanding from the ICW that we now came and do advocacy, try to reach everyone so that they will know what is happening, the men were included. People, models like Momiran Samkuti, Margaret Oppo, then they did great in this country, educated people, both men and women, so that we make Nigeria develop to where she is today. And we've been moving with that vanguard since that period. I'm now the 16th National President of the National Council of Women's Societies, NCWS Nigeria, and we've been moving with that agenda. We've been advocating on how, but we are not selfish. We include both men and women, how we get ourselves developed so that we develop our country as well. So right at the grassroots, the NCWS is there trying to make sure that everybody is aware of what they are supposed to do. It's only that the opportunity are not being allowed. That is why the NCWS is such a structure that you can leverage on whoever you want you may be to win your election, because we have a setting at the national body where I'm the national president with 14 others, 15 national ESCO. At the various states, the 36 states plus the FCT, we have sitting state president plus 14 other officers, 15 state ESCOs. At the local government level, that is the 774 local government areas that we have in Nigeria. We have all local governments presidents plus 14 others, 15 local government ESCOs in each of the local government. And the membership to become an ESCO in the local government is being drawn from the ward level. Each ward in a local government is being represented. Paraventure, the positioning is small that every ward cannot queue in. Then we have standing committee. The other wards that are not able to be part are put in the standing committee. And as we are discussing with you now, whether social media, no social media, for us in the National Council of Women's Societies, using our phone, what we are discussing here with you today, if I want all the women in Nigeria to hear, they will hear from me, whether you advertise this or not. That is our setting, that is our structure. And I've told you earlier on that we are here to make sure that our women are educated, our girls are educated, they are empowered, they are being trained, given vocational jobs. Those that maybe are older, they can no longer go to secondary school to the university. We give them adult education so that they be aware of who they are and they can hold any other position. So our women are well trained, they are well informed. It's only that they are not given access to participate in what the men are doing.
So when you say they're not giving access to what women and what even the political space or the political landmark, I'm curious at this point. If the National Council for Women's Societies is doing what it ought to do at the grassroots, shouldn't we be having more women, girl child, even coming out and understanding what leadership should be? Because there have been speculations about rural girls from the rural community will take a travel to places like Gombe, take a travel to Yola, to Bauchi, down to Sokoto, Castina. We'll see the conversation around politics for the girl child tend to be sectionalized. The girl child is even afraid to come out to even speak up for what she believes is the truth and what is obtainable. Now, the organization have been existing since 1958. Are we doing enough to sensitize the average Nigerian girl child and prepare them for leadership?
Yes, sir, we are doing our best. The issue is, as I've said earlier, culture. Right back home, this girl child has been taught by her father, by her uncles, her brothers, that women should not be loud. Women should not be heard. The woman, her portion is to stay around the kitchen area, prepare whatever she can, and then take care of the home front, and that is all. So for her to come out is an issue. She will feel she is among the people they will classify disobedient. She's not obedient enough. So she will queue in. And also religion. You know, this northern part of Nigeria, majority are Muslims, and there is this Buddha. They grew up to understand that their mothers are right in the homes. They don't go out. So they grow also with that mentality that when they grow up, they will marry, and that is how they are going to stay. But that is not the case now. So some few have been allowed to go to school, but still, they are not fully participatory because they feel that is not the culture. Thirdly, this involves money. Men already, right from inception, is the men that have been there working, and so they have gathered money for themselves towards politics. The woman has nothing. And you know that you can't venture into politics without being equipped financially. And so the women, especially the ones in the grassroots, they don't have anything. And the culture also, they've been trained not to allow themselves loose for the men to use them maybe for financial gains. So they queue in and just remain there since they don't have. And then again, the meetings, as I said earlier, is done late in the night. So the woman in the rural area, no parents will allow his or her daughter to go and be having meetings late in the night. So there are so many factors. And even the education. In the rural areas, education has not reached, as you rightly said, as we have here now. That is why up till today you can find our girls still hawking while people are in their mates are in their classrooms. So this, I think, is intentionally left there so that, I don't know, so that we don't become aware completely. But Nigerian women actually, despite all these factors that I've said, there are educated women in Nigeria that can hold power and will prove you that they are the right people to be there. We have seen some that have done it. We have seen Queen Amina of Zazzau, how she ruled during her days. We have seen Mommy from Princess Mommy, Queen Mommy from Ile-Ife, how she ruled in her time. We have seen Lela Dogonyaro, what she did during her time. We have seen Dora Okonjele, Dora
Okonjiwala. No.
Dora Okonjele, what she did, and Okonjiwela, what she did, and so many other women. They have proven that women can do better and will do their best when they are in power, because we have the feeling, we have the heart to develop our country much more than the men will do. Because all we have, we will plow into back to the family, to the community, to make sure that there is development. But for men, majority of the men is how to get more wives, how to enjoy, how to travel abroad, how to buy properties and all that. But for the women, it's not like that. So, sir, we are doing our best.
Well, when you said to get more wives, a lot of men will tend to disagree because a lot of men don't want more wives. But then again, let's even dive back to the conversation. Looking at the whole advocacy for gender equality and equal representation, which the NCWS Nigeria has been championing to ensure that women are adequately and efficiently represented within the political space. The question begging for answer right now is, the average Nigerian woman, is she ready? Is she politically exposed? If these bills that is before the National Assembly is passed into law, the average Nigerian woman, how prepared is she right now, even for the journey ahead politically, in your own assessment?
Yes, sir. In every state of Nigeria, we have women that are prepared, that are ready, that are watching for such an opportunity so that they will queue in.
So you mean women right now are more politically exposed?
We are very, very
so
ready.
if we take it by geopolitical zone, can we then say that 55% or perhaps 45% of women within the various geopolitical zones, 6 geopolitical zones to be precise, they are ready right now to even champion the cause of leadership in these various zones?
100% ready, sir. We are ready. We've been having meetings. We've been discussing amongst ourselves. We have identified ourselves. Every zone have women that can even rule Nigeria from that zone. We are ready.
All right, that's good to know that women right now are ready. So we look up to the National Assembly to take that bill up and try to also pass it. But then there is one conversation that we've not heard you talk about even on the media space. You are from Adama, and you have been able to exemplify leadership even to the pinnacle of it, and you've represented Nigerian women effectively across board. Tell us on Korero, what inspired you to go into leadership and not subjecting your opinion to the kitchen, especially that narrative has become like a norm even from the northern part of Nigeria. Tell us about your story. Let's even hear for the first time.
Yeah, my background.
Yes, let's hear your story.
Yeah, my background.
What informed you into leadership?
As I said earlier, it starts from the home. So while I was brought up, they cherished girls going to school. They gave me the opportunity to go to school. They encouraged me. And I'm also lucky to marry a man that cued into what my parents saw will be good for me. He allowed me, because I even married after I finished my secondary school. In my husband's house, I went and got my diploma, went and got my degree, and now I have even masters in theology. He allowed me as well to develop myself and where I am today by the grace of God. And I took on the government job. I retired as a director. I was a director for 8 years in my state. And so that opportunity was opened. While I was a director, before I became a director, I was I am a member of the National Council of Women Societies. I want to say I became a member since 1996. And so I know what it is. And growing on the ladder when the opportunity came, I just queued in. And that is what informed my being there as the National President of the National Council of Women Societies in NCWS Nigeria today.
Okay, so the average young girl watching you right now is curious. Madam President, have you ever been victimized even while scaling through in the ladder of success? Have you been discriminated upon, and how were you able to address those challenges?
So severally, I cannot even remember all of them. So many, but the key thing that helped me is that I'm a prayerful woman. When situations come, I turn to God and just leave it at His feet, pray on it, and you see, I'll just scale through.
In practical terms, most young girls right now that are watching us across the world who want to hear Madam President even share or give us probably a narrative of what actually transpired and how you were able to surmount it. Of course, the average young girl will be able to learn from this and be able to even know that there is nothing that cannot be surmounted. No mountain cannot be even.
You see, even I read crop production and horticulture in my university. And back in school then, I was the only woman in my whole class. We were 15, I was the only woman. And so I learned to say amongst men. But then they were not bad, they were carrying me along. And when I started work, because of the kind of course I studied, there were not many women in that field as well. So we were few. And when I grew now to the latter to become a director, I was one woman among maybe 6 men that were eyeing the same position. So struggled, but I said I conquered it on my knees through prayers, and amongst all these 6 other men, I emerged the winner and became that director. All of us by merit.
When you say prayer, it makes it look as though the whole practical demonstration of their intellectual capacity was subjected to prayer and all of this. But then, being confronted in a situation, the average Nigerian girl that is looking up to you right now as a role model, as a mentor, wants to even hear from you issues around the fact of growing up in the North. Outside your parental background and also upbringing that you've enjoyed, of course, you've told us that your parents are partly and largely academicians that believe
No,
so
they
much.
were not.
They believe so much in academics.
They were not.
Well, I don't know your background. Okay,
maybe let me take you back
please.
again. They were not. My parents were not educated, but my community, there were few educated people there, and majority of people around there were going to school. So my parents queued in also and allowed me to go to school. So not that they were educated, but my community in general, we are well educated. Home, local government in Adamawa State, you can ask, you can Google, we are well educated. And so my parents didn't stop at that. They also allowed me to do what others were doing.
So while growing up in the North, were there some form of also discrimination against your person even while in the university, knowing fully well that some persons still believe that it is wrong to even educate the girl child?
Yeah, I wasn't discriminated in the university. As I said earlier, I was the only woman in that class with 14 other men. We were 15, and so they carried me along. I didn't get that discrimination. It was when I started work that I saw discrimination during promotion. You will see somebody you started together and the person is just flying while you remain in the same place. I saw that.
Interesting. So when we look at where we were as a country and where we are right now, is there light at the end of the tunnel for the female child growing up in Nigeria, even in terms of politically exposure for the young girls growing up right now in Nigeria?
Yes, sir, because we have opted out to go on mentoring. We are mentoring our girls, telling them our stories and telling them that they should remain where they are. They should be focused, they shouldn't fear. They should focus on their good, and then they are given career, develop it. The world is going technologically, so let them also be up to the level where things are happening and be ready. Things will change. So they are being groomed, sir.
All right, so I asked that question to ask, right now, a lot of men feel threatened by the success of women because largely when the woman occupies a position, she wants things to go accurately, and she doesn't, what she wants must be what should be, and she puts her faith down to ensure that what she wants is what is obtainable. Now, in such a scenario, in a male-dominated organization, can we say that the agitation for women in leadership is what is fueling feminism in Nigeria.
Yes, sir. But anyway, I have a different opinion
All
on
right.
that. Because me, the way I see, the men do not even care. They feel that we are there and we are just there. Already we have taken the position of that woman leader. And when the time to go for campaign comes, we join them. We sing songs for them. We do good. I don't know how you call it in Hausa. We do things that will make the whole journey nice and good. And then after elections, that's all. Maybe during festive period, Salah, Christmas, they will give us bags of rice, Maggi and salt, and that is it. So I have not seen them being threatened as whether women are improving or whatever, because they have kept us somewhere, and it's not good. Inclusion.
Madam President, I think you've not been following the trends on socials right now.
Okay.
We have a lot of very bold women
Okay.
on social media that are driving with the narrative of feminism across board. And these women are well positioned in the society. They literally challenge every decision by the men. Now, they call this feminism. The NCWS is the umbrella body for women. And part of the messages that are being preached is also on creating an equal platform for everybody to thrive, an equal society for all to grow. Now, this boldness being taught in to our young girls, could this be one of the reasons why the whole conversation around feminism is thriving in the country?
You said it right. I'm not conversant with that, and I am actually, even though you said there are women that are driving it, but if the men are doing the right thing and are saying the right thing, I will not condemn. As the umbrella body of all women organizations in Nigeria, if things are going right, we need not condemn. We are just saying that we should be included in what we do. We should have representation, because you can't shape a man's head in his absence. When we are there, we better will speak for the woman. That's all. But when the man is doing the right thing, we shouldn't say because he's a man, the feminist will just say it is not and then go the other way. No, no, sir. We are for every good thing that is happening in the country. Not only women, even men. If what they are doing is good, we welcome it.
So men should not be afraid. Right
Yes,
now,
sir.
where women are becoming bold,
Yes, sir.
and asking for what should be the norm.
No, women are becoming bold, but just to be included so that we become 50-50. Or let that 35% affirmative action take place. You mentioned that at the Senate we have 5.8 representation. At the
House of Representatives,
5.5% representation. So, and we are talking about that, about 35% affirmative action. In other countries like Rwanda, they have passed that. They are 50-50 now. In Senegal, in India, and so many other places. Why are we left behind in Nigeria? I think Rwanda has 61% representation. We don't even want to go up to that. Let us just get it at 5% for now. Just increase our percentage. Just increase our percentage. Not we are talking of 5.8, 5.5. Is it fair? It's not fair. And the government is for all of us, for the people and by the people.
It's not in my place, but the president, to answer if it's fair or is not fair. But then you are a policy maker when it has to do with all of this place. And you, of course, your observations, you can answer if it's fair or not
it's
fair.
It's not fair.
All right. That's a good judgment from your own angle.
It's not fair. It's not fair.
All right. So let's even look at the achievement of the NCWS in recent years. What can we say that the organization have been able to achieve in terms of its own drive for a better society where women are better positioned and better represented?
Thank you very much. Since 1958, I told you, I am the 16th national president. And since then, these women that started it, they came in with the issue of developing the Nigerian woman, the Nigerian girl child. And that is why you find so many women in the, as captains of industries, so many women occupying positions outside Nigeria though. So many women, as I've said earlier, ready to be given positions, to be included in the national discourse, but they are relegated. That is the handwork of the National Council of Women Societies. And we cried also, and the Federal Minister of Women Affairs and Social Development was established. And up till now, we are mentoring our young ones so that also they grow knowing that there is something we are missing in Nigeria. The female gender is not included, and we are all together crying for inclusion.
That's quite interesting. Madam President, just as we begin to pack our things to leave the studio, there are whispers that Madam President is will be on the ballots and be vying for the governorship position of Adamawa State. But these are whispers. Of course, I have you here to affirm or to tell us otherwise. Are we seeing you on the political space anytime soon?
That me.
That's why it's called whispers. We have whispers everywhere that Madam President will be coming out on the ballots. But how correct is this narrative?
No, it's not correct. For now, as the national president of the National Council of Women Societies, NCWS Nigeria, I'm here together with many other Nigerian women at home and abroad. I am here. We are all together there to mentor our young girls, to come together to make sure that people accept us, the men accept us at the political space, so that this coming elections, women will have at least 40%. I'm sure we are.
You've surmounted 35% right now. You've gone to 40. Well, it's fair. Let me allow you.
Okay, that was the affirmative action.
Yes.
Other countries have passed it. Other countries are above 50.
So you were calling for 35%. Now you've moved it to 40. Well, it's fair. But then
there are even challenges. But as I said, on our knees we conquer it, because already political parties have been formed. Positions have been given to people. Nigerian women have been given women leader in almost all the political parties without no any other position. So when it comes now for who is going to stand for the presidency, who is going to be for the governor, who is for senator, and all the positions, you know how it will look like. But with our discussions, I'm sure those people that are in charge will think twice and make sure that women are included this time.
From 35% to 40. Well, it's fair. So, but then you've still not answered our question. Are we seeing, Madam President, the Princess Edna Azura, are we seeing you on the ballot come 2027?
No.
Is this narrative correct?
No.
But we are hearing it for the first time as breaking news, even
yes, exactly.
So that's what we want to get this all out, to know that women all over the world that are even right now saying that you've been able to represent them well as the national president.
No, I will not. I will just be there for them that will be on that ballot paper to make sure that.
So if the call persists,
yeah,
and of course the call becomes loud,
yeah,
that Adamawa needs an urgent rescue, we won't see you on the ballot. And if the people are clamoring for you to be there.
You see, my decisions are centered on God also. I will go and pray. I will pray, and if He says go, why not? It's leadership from God. So if He says I am, I will be. But for now, for me as I am, I never thought of that.
Well, that's quite interesting. So we'll keep looking out and keep our fingers crossed that you've not thought of it. But I know that we will keep following up on that conversation to know how far we can even drive that narrative, because we know that this whispers, there's no smoke without fire. and Adamawa is also in dying need of a competitive voice and a very pronounced voice like yours too, represent them. But we'll keep following up on that conversation. But you want to quickly react?
Yeah, I want to say something,
Yeah,
sir.
please.
But in Adamawa State, we are satisfied. Although our governor is in his second term, he will go. But actually, he did well for us, and we are happy. And we pray that he hands over to a woman.
And that's not you. Well, quite interesting. Now, let's even move on to looking at the future of the Nigerian girls. Are there projects, plans, and programs that even the NCWS is also trying to organize in order to further project the Nigerian women out there as not just a kitchen, as not just good for the kitchen, but also good for the development of a country?
Yes, sir. There are lots of projects, programs that are being organized by the National Council of Women's Societies, NCWS Nigeria, to educate and project Nigerian woman and the girl child, and as well people living with disabilities, how they can own their future. Both at the local government level, the presidents in the local government level are organizing programs. The state president in the various states are organizing programs, while at the center here we organize and we invite representatives from there to come and attend. Leadership training, we've been having leadership training, and then skill acquisition, we've been having them. We train them on so many skills, like we did on perfume and so many other things, so that at least they will have what will give them little resources that can keep them, so that they don't wander about. And so a lot of things we are doing, and of late we are even planning to bring the whole of Nigerian women to the center here, where we are going to converge together. We have some trainings, and then we pray for the country. As a whole, we all come together, we'll pray.
Interesting, Madam President. Before we let you go, your children who are also youths, the Nigerian males, are also said they feel like the Nigerian National Council of Women's Society is even not even trying to embrace them in all of these developmental goals. That this all policy is largely centered around the female children. Are there also programs for the male youth in the country?
Yes, sir. There is an organization that just came up that now we are working hand in hand. They are purely on how to develop the young man, the male youths. And they came and met me that they will want us to work together. But meanwhile, right from the start, is the National Council of Women's Societies, NCWS Nigeria, we included youths into our programs. It's only that it's somehow silent. If not, they are part of us. But with the coming of this new organization now, it is going to be louder. That is one. Two, I paid a courtesy visit to the Honorable Minister of Youths some months back, and at that meeting it was very interesting. This Honorable Minister told me he will want me and him to work hand in hand. The NCWS and the Ministry of Youth, we are going to work together on what? On how to make sure that our youth turns back to our culture, because there is somehow deviation from how we were brought up to what we are seeing now, whereby we see them sack their jeans, we see the men wearing earrings, wearing necklace, we see them, a lot of things that are not there, and our girls dressing not good at all. So we are planning, we are bringing a proposal to him, whereby we will join hands and work with him. And I know in the process of doing that, we are going to train them also on leadership, skill acquisition, so that they will know the importance of why we called them. So we are not neglecting them, sir.
Well, that's good to know, Madam President. We will keep up following you on that conversation to see how far we're able to also bring back the dignity that we once enjoyed as while growing up in the country, knowing fully well that a lot of cultural values are beginning to diminish across board, not just even the youth, when it has to do with even upbringing for children right now. So for some culture right now, for some persons, it is believed that if you even caution a child, it's an error from the part of the parents. So right now we see parents trying to pacify the children. The child is doing what is wrong, you're trying to rub the child on the back. Well, we'll follow up on that conversation. Of course, right now we'll say that you are the mother of all Nigerians.
Yes.
So we will be looking at, okay, you are the second mother of all Nigeria. Okay, let's see the second mother after Her Excellency,
No,
the person of,
see, sir, there is difference. The First Lady
yeah.
of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Her Excellency Senator Oluremi Bola Ahmed Tinubu, CON, is the mother of all Nigerians. Me, I'm the president of Nigerian women. That's the difference. She is the mother. Me, I'm the president.
Okay, so
she's my mother.
You are the deputy mother.
Yeah, she's my mother.
You are the deputy mother.
Yes.
Well, it's on this note, I want to say thank you so much, Princess Edna Azura, for finding out time to be with us here on Korero.
Thank you.
And hope when next we need you, you'll be available for us.
I will. Anytime, I'm there for you.
All right, I will keep following you on all of this project. Hope you carry Rapid TV along in all of this project.
Thank you very much.
Well, viewers, this is how far we can go tonight on the show. Do not forget that you can also leave your thoughts and join the conversation on our various social media handle currently showing on your screen. And you can also download the Rapid TV app from your Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcast. My name is Godwin Sunday. Always remember that peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Do enjoy the rest of your night rest. Bye for now.